Deshaun Watson's has gotten a lot of publicity. He's got a ton of it.
A lot. All of it good, by the way.
And everything's been good about him. So I know from my own personal experience going through this, it's not a lot of fun. It is not a lot of fun.
Especially when there's an expectation. Like Trubisky is weird because 6 months ago, there was no expectation for that kid being a high first-round draft pick.
Nobody really talked about him.
But now, and I'd love to talk to him because, listen, he's a kid still, right?
Yep.
And he's got an agent, and the people, I'm blowing him up and blowing him up. My gut tells me that as grounded as that kid might very well be, and I don't know him, that there's an aspect now where he has every right to feel like I'm going pretty high.
And I want to go high.
Of course, you always want to, but he went from
obscurity
to he might be the first quarterback taken and maybe a top 5 pick.
I'll tell you. So the interesting thing, that the whole Pat Mahomes thing, when Phil was on here with me when you were out that one day, he was saying this kid is like can throw the ball as good as anybody. And when you watch him on film, and I have not, I've only seen a couple of their games.
Right.
It's like a video game. I mean, he's throwing the ball all over the place.
Right.
They got that spread offense, and he's just whistling it all over the field. Now, the one thing I will say about Deshaun Watson that I can't say about the other players, this kid graduated college early. This kid played his best games in the biggest games. And this kid has basically been the face of Clemson football for the last 3 years and has lived up to every expectation.
And then some.
So when you put all of those things into the pot, you say to yourself, this kid has what I would believe is the ability to become a great quarterback in the NFL.
He's got some intangibles also that no one ever talks about.
That's right.
Graduating early, great guy.
I always think of this, but here's a kid. But I also think this is a kid that probably, because of his background, because he grew up in relatively poor surroundings, and if it weren't for Warwick Dunn building a house for a single mom, Deshaun Watson probably wouldn't have had a house to live in.
Right.
And when you think about where he's come from to where he is now, to what he has done by graduating and by leading his team to a national championship and playing 2 of the best games that any quarterback would ever play against potentially an all-professional defense in Alabama,
right?
I mean, that's pretty hard to turn your back on.